Welcome back, everybody, to our survival single-player Minecraft world. I am Malign Mysticality, and today we're going to pick up where we left off before on getting this thing finished, put together, get our walls on it, maybe find where zombies are living down here. Because, frankly, I'm baffled. No. No. Okay, well, we'll figure that out later. Not important at this immediate second, I suppose. But, between episodes, through the little time lapse I'm sure you saw, I collected some sand so I could get some extra glass going. And I cut down some trees, so we've got some extra wood to work with here. This is also just our supplies from throwing this thing together initially. This has been running. I added chests off the front here. So while I've been in the area, we've been getting some amount of stuff. Swapped out about half this farm, so we've got carrots, potatoes, and wheat growing across here. Because wheat we predominantly just need for feeding the animals over there. The other thing we're going to do today is we are going to get some villager housing going so that we can have trade villagers. And what I've decided I think we're going to do is I'm going to level out the hill that rings along up here. And we're going to use it as a place to build little villager houses. I'm going to have to fill in some area here to, you know, not have giant holes, but that's fine. That's part of the flattening and layering out. And then I'm still going to put woodman's or lumberjack's hut back here as well, but I'm basically going to extend and build like a stone cliff face around the front of this and then fill in everything behind with dirt so that we have a nice completed kind of upper cliff section. Actually, let's hop over real quick to the creative world where I've kind of put together what I'm going to use for villager housing. So I'll see you guys over there in just a moment. All right, guys. We are back. Here we are. And this is what I'm going to be using for our villager housing. So these had to just be tall enough that baby zombies can't jump in. We're going to be building these up along that kind of hill we talked about. And what I've done is I've put a daylight sensor hidden up in here. So when we get to night, wonk, we have our trapdoors closed. And we still have a little gap we can see through, but it's nothing that they can see through. They won't notice any zombies outside, anything like that. Predominantly, this is just so that if I decide I would like to check in, I have visibility. But inside, these things are pretty straightforward. Nothing terribly interesting. Let's just punch a hole through right here. We have workstations. We have a bunk bed. We have a couple torches. And we have zombies who have no idea how to interact here. Oh. Oh no, they're very unhappy. Anyways. Where we're going to be putting these, they're going to be in a spot where we've got everything all kind of filled in anyways, so won't make that big of a difference. And then if we... Yep. Helps if I type correctly. Those all flick open. So, we're gonna detail and decorate these just a little bit more, but basically we're just gonna be slapping a bunch of these down along the cliff we're gonna build, and each one is gonna house 2 villagers, so we can get mending and some toolsmiths, and eventually we'll have a bunch of other ones. I'm gonna focus on just trying to get the hill, or the little cliff wall in place, get the land flattened out, and get maybe 1 or 2 of these up and running for now. Any more than that, we'll figure out as we go, but at the very least, having 2 in place is going to allow me to get a little more industrial in what I'm doing. Especially mending. So, I'll catch you guys back on the other side. Where we are going to continue with what we're doing. And we are back. So, for now, I'm going to focus on getting the walls of... probably put my armor back on now that we're done with an intro. Focus on getting the walls of our structure here done. Make sure I've got my scaffolding on hand. And we're going to see about getting this thing all sealed up. And once I have the walls across this entire thing done... I didn't move this side out. Okay. That's fine. We need to have it to there for these, just so that we don't have sugarcane landing where it won't be picked up, but the actual wall needs to be between these. I am missing 2 scaffolding. There we go. Oop, what am I doing? That layer needs to be cobblestone. There we go. So anyways, I'm going to work on getting this all kind of structurally in place, filling out the walls, and then after that we'll figure out a roof structure, and hopefully soon have this thing all kind of buttoned up and completed. I would do some of this with the replay mod, but I've updated to a newer version of Minecraft, so we don't currently have replay. What we do have, though, and I'm very happy about this, is the Copper Age drop, and more specifically, shelves. And I am so excited for these. That is a savable hotbar, and those are going to be so convenient for working, and also just for decoration. They look phenomenal. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a couple of emergency hotbars once I've got my mending villagers and stuff all in place, so that if I die somewhere, I can just quickly run over, grab a hotbar that has the usual items in it, and get out the door. No, you know, shuffling through chests or anything like that. And then probably put a little armor equipper up there too, just so that's another thing that's super automated. I don't know why I went all the way down through the bottom floor, but... anyways, the goal at the end of the day for me here is I just want to get our walls and at least the roof structure in place, even if not the entire roof. And then I want to start working on our cliff face, which is going to be probably predominantly like tough andesite and cobblestone, just to create kind of a rough cliff line. And then we're going to fill back in behind it with a bunch of our dirt that we've got in chests in the house. So I'll be keeping an eye on the replay mod as soon as it's been updated, and I can bring it back in to do a lot of our sort of large-scale building projects I'm going to, but I didn't want to have to delay an episode just waiting on a mod. So instead, we're just going to work without it for a day or two, and that's all right. Okay, that is that side all buttoned in. Perfect. So, bits and pieces as we go. I'll bring you guys in, kind of show you where we're at, show you the progress. And then the big thing that I'm really excited for, like I said, is getting those villager houses in place. Oop, one too high. So anyways, I'll bring you guys back in when I've got something more interesting to share, which hopefully won't be too long. And I just realized I didn't do the bottom row in cobblestone. Why am I like this? All right, so we've got this entire side replaced with glass. We'll take a look at that in a second, but we're so close. Who's going to win the race? Aha, there it goes. Full harvest. And I know there's a chance, however small it may be, like those ones right there, the bamboo will land on top of the stock. But to make this any more lossless would require a lot more space. And frankly, it already produces enough bamboo that I'm not terribly concerned. So, we take a step back and take a look. And that's the other thing, too, is I believe as these grow, they'll actually end up pushing those off. Could do with some hidden lighting in there. Something I'll have to figure out in a minute. Grab that back. But yeah, even just from that, I mean, this is going to produce more than enough bamboo. I don't really need to worry too much about perfect efficiency on this thing. But we've got the walls up. We've got that all glassed off so you can see the bamboo all the way up, which I'm happy for. I think we're going to be able to get 2 more layers of sugarcane in the future, built on top and visible through windows. But for now, we need to focus up on a roof. And I think we're going to do a dark oak roof bordered in... I don't know. Part of me wants to do cobbled deep slate, but I think that the 2 darks is going to be too much. Maybe we'll do... We could do cobblestone. We could do... Cobblestone already shows up in the build. Or maybe andesite. Something a little bit lighter. Because here we did like a spruce surrounded by cobbled deep slate, but I feel like doing dark oak would be just a little too dark. Yeah, let's take a look at maybe andesite. Do a mix of andesite and polished andesite. How much do I have of either of those is the question. Andesite and polished. Not a ton. I could also look into doing tough. Tough might be an okay. Or maybe I just dig up some andesite after I get rid of the rain. Because as much as I love a rainy day, I don't love rain in Minecraft. Definitely don't love thunder in Minecraft. Speaking of thunder in Minecraft, the lightning rods I put up there and up there, I have waxed because we are in the Copper Age, and so those can now oxidize, and we don't want that. I mean, maybe we do. I haven't fully decided. But they're waxed for now. We can always go back and change our minds about that later. Anyways, I'm gonna dig up some andesite so that we can see how it looks for a roof border. Since we've got this lovely surface level andesite anyways, and we were planning to dig this out as a quarry anyways, I figure it's the best place to start. So I'll bring you guys back in once we are kind of getting a look at what our roof is going to look like. See you then. Alright guys, so here we've got our basic roof shape. I kind of like this gentle curve we've got going. I've got to mimic it on the backside, but we've got the basic framing done. So from here, I think we're going to run another log pillar, another stripped log pillar across right up at the top there. That's going to kind of act as a visual border between that and this little upper area. Probably put a little bay window or something up in that upper area, like there's a little office or something in that space. Maybe actually put an office or something in that space, we'll see. For now, I need to grab some of our dark oak from our prior adventure, take up with us, and then we're going to finish out this roof shape. Might as well do that together here on camera, since I've already got you. I can pop that out. That was just kind of a bridge piece temporarily while I got this shape in. So from here, I think we need to go one more stair up. So let's go ahead and grab that and that, 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 and then do that on the other side as well. So I will do just two of these like that and that. Oop, not like that. Try again there, friend. Like that. Perfect. Then we'll switch back to our slabs. And we're going to go up a slab. There. From here, we'll do that, that. We should be able to reach this from here. Let's do one of those, two of those. And then one of those and one of those. And that completes our kind of arch here. And then the top row, we are going to just run across with these. There. Just kind of try and somewhat randomize and vary it as we go here. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. We're just looking for a little bit of texture. There. and there. Perfect. So from there, we'll get some dark oak stairs and slabs, and we'll kind of fill in across from here. But do that. Just want to see how that looks for visual separation here. So we're going to take a look from down below. I need to go craft some more scaffolding too, which means I may need to go find a couple spiders. Did catch one. But let's just see how that looks for the moment. Yeah, I think that creates a nice visual line, and then we can have a lighter wood area up there, maybe oak with a window, and then a dark oak roof. I think that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to continue this trim all the way across on both sides and along the back, and then start getting the actual roof material in. I think for now I'll just put an extra block underneath this just so I don't have to go make more. But man, I really do need to get a spider farm going as soon as possible. I gotta find a cave spider spawner because I'm gonna need more scaffolding. Gotta make a bow at some point. I mean, I could just kill a bunch of skeletons and hope I get one that way, but that's less fun. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna get the roof slapped on this thing, and I'll bring you guys back, either if anything interesting happens, or just along our way towards progress here. Well, I think it definitely needs some detailing on the short sides, but we have a roof, which means we can mark this, at least temporarily, as in a pretty finished state. I do like being able to see the bamboo growing from the full side view. I think that that's a really nice look. From this view, it's a little plain. We do have the upper window up there. I didn't put in a floor or anything up there, so it's just a window for nothing for the moment. But this side will add a couple more layers of sugarcane and a couple more layers of windows with it when we get there. This side, I didn't even add a window because this is off the back. We're not going to see this view too often, but I will do something about that and about these large flat sides that don't have any detailing. We'll do something on them. But I do think that the andesite and the dark oak do work really well together for that roof. So I think I can call this buttoned up enough that we can move on to villager housing, which means I'm going to go get a bunch of the tuff I've collected, and I'm going to start kind of marking out the perimeter of the cliff and figure out roughly the height the cliff is going to run at most of the way around. And then we're going to start doing some terraforming. And once we get that all done, we can try to get our first villager hut in. So I will see you guys once I've got a pretty good idea of what our cliff here is going to look like. All right, guys. Here's kind of the cliff shape I'm thinking. We're going to go from kind of back here. We're going to maybe merge in a little more cleanly rather than having come straight out, but maybe have it kind of curve in. Wrap around this way. And then kind of expand this whole thing to be at level. And then back that way. And that's going to give us space to put maybe a little like square with a fountain here, maybe a custom tree, but it'll also give us a little bit more land mass to use for our villager houses. We're going to tear down that tree, which is one of the just kind of big natural oaks. Flatten this whole thing down to whatever that is, like 4 or 5 blocks in height. And then we'll add a little bit of variance along the cliff where maybe it like hills up in a spot and goes back down, but we're going to control that and try and get it to look as clean as possible. The end here I may have kind of snake out a little bit before it wraps back in too. I'm not completely sold on that, but I'm pretty happy with the majority of the shape of this. And then maybe back in there we have like carved in a little stairway up where it's kind of recessed in there anyways. And then, yeah, that should give us plenty of space to dot some of our smaller builds, like the villager houses that we looked at before. And then kind of gracefully slope up into the mountains in the background, which I do need to start lighting up as well. Really, what I need to do is I need to go find pumpkins so that I can start hiding jack-o'-lanterns under moss carpets. Speaking of moss carpets, I need to go find moss. I know exactly where to get it, I just need to go pick some up. So, those are a couple things that I need to grab just so I can start getting some hidden lights all around instead of it all being torch spam. Still need to get string so that I can get the torches off the roof. The fact that I don't have... Oh, yeah, that's right. This strip specifically is mostly string. So if I need string for anything, I know where to come grab it for now until I get a spider farm going. But I'm going to work on getting dirt, filling this in, getting some shovels, leveling things out. Obviously, I'm not just going to leave that as a big wall of tuff. That's not the greatest texture, but we're going to put in some rocks in front of it. We're going to kind of layer layers of darker stone, right? So we're going to have some andesite and smooth stone towards the front, some tuff towards like the middle, and then have areas where it punches through to like cobbled deep slate or deep slate at the back to create a little bit of depth and texture and kind of a shading effect as well. So we're going to play around with all of that, but I need to get the bulk of the blocks in first. I figure all of the texturing and stuff is going to come as a part of probably next episode. For now, it's just getting it dug down and filled in. So I'm going to work on that for a few minutes, and when I've got a little more progress to share, I'll bring you guys back. Also, these are oxidizing, and I'm trying to decide what level of oxidation I want. I kind of prefer the blue to the orange. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, I kind of prefer the blue, I think. I'm gonna think about that one as well. But, like I said, I'll do a little bit more work, and I will bring you guys back in when I've got a little more to share. I spent a little bit of time down at the XP farm because I ran out of shovels. And I just love how quickly an efficiency 4 shovel works. It's, oh, satisfying. So, I'm going to do this for a few minutes. Absolutely obliterate this cliffside so that I can continue filling in around. That's what I've been able to get done so far. Got a good ways left to go. I might actually make a second cliff line where I back this up to where it meets the mountain and have another small flat area up there. But we'll figure that out when we get that far. For now, I'm just going to continue chewing through these mountains. Yeah, that's the other efficiency one. So, I'll see you guys when I'm back with a little more progress. Alright, guys. Step 1 is now complete. We have our flat area here. A little bit of stone I need to swap out for dirt, and then I need to give more shape to that corner and back into here. But I think what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to replace the stone on the ground with dirt. And then I'm going to get our first villager house in. And then we'll continue working on detailing this and clean up stuff as we go. But I think that right over here, maybe in this area, so we leave this for either a custom tree or a well or a fountain, some kind of centerpiece. But then just back over here, we're going to do our first villager house. And in that house, we're going to try to get our first mending villager and then maybe either a diamond pick or diamond axe toolsmith, one of the two. So we're going to see what we can do about that. But I'm really happy with this so far. So we'll get you guys back when, A, we have a little bit of daytime, and B, we have a little bit of progress to share. All right. Excluding the hole inside for me to bring the villagers in, which we'll be doing here in just a moment, this is done. So I've made villagers live in much, much worse. I've decided to be somewhat nice this time around. They're not getting doors. They are going to live in here forever because they don't need to be out exploring, getting murdered by zombies. But, you know, they've got their workstations, they've got their beds, and they've got a friend. That is far better than the holes I normally drop them in. So, I want to get a look at this just from a couple different angles here, kind of see how it looks from different points around, but I think, yeah, it's a cozy little build here. Let's see how it looks from the far front. I gotta do something with the animal farm too. It's a little loud no matter where you are around it. So, chickens, I have enough eggs now that I can build an auto chicken cooker. I'm just gonna build that somewhere underground, nice and quiet. Oh yeah, no, that fits in perfectly. Neat. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to bring you guys along for this. We're going to grab 2 villagers. We're going to drag them over. Once we have some daylight, of course. And then we're going to go ahead and roll their trades until we're happy. Oh, you know what I should do, actually, is I should just make sure, while we wait for the sun to set. Yep, they are snapped shut, aren't they? Perfect. So then when we get up in the morning, they are open for business. Perfect. All right. So let's grab a couple of villagers. Take advantage of the fact that they've made leading boats a lot easier, and see what we can do. I wouldn't normally use a chest boat, but I already have one from when I went out to the desert to get sand. So we may as well make use of it. Okay. Pop out here. Let's get this here, and then if I... Nope. Okay. Back into this corner. Alright. Don't die, guys. There we go. I didn't say I was going to be too nice to them, just nicer than I normally am. And, you know, they're fine. They only suffocated a little bit. Also have to make sure that neither one's a nitwit. I don't think they will be, but it's always best to just double check, you know? Squid bouncing out of the water there. Anyways. Go ahead and collect my boat. And then... let's go up this way. This will be a little bit easier. Grab my scaffolding, and... Perfect. Come on, guys. We're moving into your new home. Maybe we're better off going up this way. Come along. Come on. Okay. And then we're just gonna lead them straight up the hill face, because I think that's gonna be easier than, or the cliff face, I should say, because that's gonna be a little bit easier than trying to maneuver them around up a bunch of individual smaller rises. All right. Come on, boys. Come to your new home. There we go. Okay. Keep coming. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, now we'll just get our wall filled in here. And here. What do we got? Nope. Nope. Yes. Oh man, that was quick. Okay. I need to go grab some sugar cane. Good thing I have plenty of that. Just to lock in that trade real quick. I'll let them out of the boats once I've got both of them on. Well, actually, the second one I'm going to have to shuffle anyways, so once I have this locked in, I'll probably free them. Perfect. And then it's saving up emeralds to actually get my mending books. Alright, still mending? Perfect. Stellar. Okay. Take my seeds. Okay, and then... Don't need those. What do you have? Stone picks I don't care about. I do have... Since they can't follow me. Do that real quick. Get one of those. Because I think, unfortunately, with the toolsmith, I am just going to have to wait it out and see what the last trade is. Hope it's something decent. But getting mending that quickly is phenomenal. So, I'm going to do some trades with our toolsmith here. Toss these because I don't care about them. Gotta do some more paper trades. I also have some coal that I can fortune, so I'm glad I grabbed that earlier as well. Hopefully make a good bit of money off of him. Clear my pockets a little bit too, since we're carrying a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna drag you guys along for just another minute while... wrong chest. This one. Just another minute or two while I get some trades going. We're gonna see if we can get a really good trade for either a diamond pick or a diamond axe. It doesn't even matter if it's enchanted or not, or whatever the enchantments are. We can just purge the enchantments and do it ourselves from there. But having the option to get those is going to be really important. Also, now more than ever, it's important that I get some books. Okay, should be good. Grab whatever sugarcane I've got in here and take it with me too. And now, again, it's going to be also more important that we get the other 2 layers of sugarcane going. So between episodes, I might just throw those together real quick. It's going to be exactly the same as this layer, just more. So, let's see. Get paper. Drop off anything I don't need in here. Deal with this project chest in a little bit. Perfect. And then... yeah, whatever. That, grab our Fortune 3. Beautiful. And this Fortune 3 pick is one that I definitely want to get mending on as soon as possible. Oh, I forgot to make what books I could while I was... oh, I can do that in my inventory. What am I doing? Okay. Handful of books. You... okay. Grab a couple of those. Get rid of a couple of those. Okay, you'll... oh, thank goodness, you will buy iron. Oh, you're going to buy so much iron. Okay. See, here's where things all start coming together. Oh, and I mentioned earlier doing something with the 2 flat faces of the sugarcane and bamboo farm. One of those sides, I am going to build a little extension. Probably the back side that I have a that I'll build a cactus farm in. So one of those sides will be used pretty quickly, but... oh, buddy. You know what? Smarter. Hold on. Let's take a couple of those, and then come back and do some more with this here in a little bit. Because if he'll buy iron, I have iron to sell. Also, let's get some daylight here real quick, because otherwise, they're closed for business. I know it's not necessary, but I do like having the closing shutters when it hits night. And I believe it's timed out so that basically the moment that I can sleep, those shutter. Which also means it gives a little bit of an audio cue to me if I'm in the area when those shutter saying, hey, you can go sleep now. We'll add a proper path up onto the cliffs here at some point. Do you want to come a little closer here, man? You won't buy any more right now. Okay. Coal can go away for now. Alright, you reset? Yes, you are. No, you're not. Of course you're not. Diamond hoe, iron shovel. Neither of those is really good. How much are you charging for mending? 23. I get a slight discount. Okay. We're not there yet. Fine. There we go. Refresh your trades. Give me the emeralds. There we go. Aha. And then you locked again. That's fine. And you have a Fortune 1 Unbreaking 2 Diamond Axe. That's not terrible. You got my stuff in there. So a little inventory shuffle here. And I gotta go drop some stuff off. I don't care about the stone pickaxes for, I think, pretty obvious reasons. But I do need to get mending. So, anyways, we got a good trade for a, whatchamacallit, mending villager. We got a good trade for a diamond pick, or diamond axe, which means we no longer have to buy diamond axes. We can just get those by trading. We can trade paper, which is phenomenal. We have so much paper, that's not going to be a concern. We can trade iron, which is also phenomenal. Let's see. Might need to recraft this iron into blocks. Also, I need to clean up this chest over here. It's not really doing me any good right the moment. I did get a little overzealous thinking that I would be able to do something with an entire stack of iron blocks today, though. But progress has been made in the best possible way. Technically, I have a merchant for diamond hose, which, sure, why not? But also, more importantly, a diamond axe and mending books. So let's do as many trades with these guys as we can. I need to get more paper. Good on iron. Yeah, so getting this thing upgraded is going to be a huge deal for us in the coming days. Let's see. With that, though, I really think that... what did we do? Let's do this. There we go. With this, though, we're really hitting our stride in this world. We're going to get this cliff textured. We're going to have some blocks in the front of it kind of spiking up. We're going to have some spots where it peeks through to some darker blocks in the back. So it won't just be a big, flat-toned gray wall going around. This is just our mid-tone that we're going to build off of. Eventually, I'd like to get some moss and then have little, like, moss sections hanging over as well. We're going to build either a custom tree or a well or something in this spot. If you guys have a strong opinion on what should go here, let me know. But in the meantime, I guess between episodes, I'm just going to profit as much as possible. Curse of Vanishing, of course. He will buy books, though, which... that's 12 paper and a leather for a diamond instead of 24 paper, so that might be decent. Come back to that one. Ah, yes! He has a diamond pick as well. Okay, we are rolling. Okay, that is phenomenal. We are going to make so much money off this guy. First off, the fact that he'll buy that, but... Okay, I have 51 emeralds. That means that I can grab a couple of mending books. Okay, no, that's phenomenal news. Perfect. And then now, just as a beautiful way to top off this episode, let's go ahead and smack mending on our really nice pickaxe. Well, both of our really nice pickaxes, actually. Let me double check those real quick, but... We've got Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking... 2 experience to add mending to that. Beautiful. And then to our Silk Touch. We'll need to get efficiency for this one eventually. That's loud. But that is phenomenal. Now we've got mending. Oh, this is such a good pick. Okay. We're going to replace these with diamond and eventually netherite later down the road. But right now, we need to get in more villagers. We need to reach a point where we have a little bit of a stronger villager economy. Get the villagers who are going to buy all of the stuff we're producing. So right now, we've got a ton of iron, and we have a place to sell that. We have a ton of sugarcane that's going to be on the run. Like I said, between episodes, I'll get up the next 2 layers. And maybe even the cactus farm. But at this point, oh, I am so happy with where we're at. Okay. We'll have to continue the back wall there as well, get another cliff layer going, but let's just call this an episode, guys. We got a lot done today. We finished off our sugarcane and bamboo farm, at least the exterior surface. We have our cliff base started. We have a lot of terraforming done. We got our first couple villagers. We got a mending villager, which gave us a phenomenal pickaxe. I think that we are doing a great job getting a lot of the infrastructure stuff done in this world and trying to keep it relatively aesthetic as we go. We're not dumping a bunch of villagers into holes to make a villager breeder. They're going to live in houses. They're going to have, you know, shop shutters that open and close during the daytime and nighttime. We're making a lot of really good progress, and I'm really excited to see where we manage to get off to. But for now, I think we're out of time for this episode. So, thank you so much for coming along on the adventure, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.